Welcome to Baseline Scientific. My name is Paul Scanlon and I'm going to show you what can be seen in the April night sky. We start with a look at the moon and the occultations that occur during the month. Then I'll take you on a tour of the planets. We'll have a look at the April meteor shower and we'll finish off with an update on Comet Lulin. Let's get straight into it with a look at the phases of the moon. The month starts with a waxing crescent. First quarter is on the 2nd. Full moon is on the 9th. Last quarter is on the 17th. And we finish the month with a new moon on the 25th of April. As with March, the occultations for April occur mostly at the start of the month. On the night of the 1st, a 7.3 magnitude star, HP 29702, will be occulted at about 23:15 UT. For such a dim star, you will need binoculars or a telescope. But with the moon one day short of first quarter, it will be a good target to start the month. Just a couple of hours later, in the early morning of the 2nd, at just after 01 UT, the 7th magnitude star, HP 30144, will disappear behind the dark rim. Unfortunately, this will now be close to the horizon, just 6 degrees here in Birmingham, so can really only be observed if you're in the north of the UK. Just over 24 hours later, on the morning of the 3rd, at about 0145 UT, 58 Gemini at magnitude 6 will be occulted very close to the North Lunar Pole. As before, you will really need to be in the north of the country to observe this, as it's close to the horizon. The brightest occultation will be on the 13th, when HP 78650 will reappear from behind the moon at about 0117 UT. The moon will not quite be at last quarter, so glare could be a problem. This will also be a short duration if you're in the south. If you're further north, it will actually be harder to see, as it will be close to the horizon. Now, let's look at the planets for April. Mercury has just passed superior conjunction, so will start the month very close to the Sun and not observable. As the month progresses, it will be easier to see in the evening sky. Look towards the west after the Sun has gone down. By the 26th, Mercury will be at greatest elongation, so that will be a good time to have a look. Venus will be a morning object throughout April, although it will probably not be observable at the start of the month as it's so close to the Sun. As the month progresses, it will become more easy to see in the eastern sky. Unfortunately, Venus will be low in the sky as the Sun rises, so it will not give us the same spectacular display in the morning as it recently has in the evenings. Mars, well, it's still creeping away from the morning sun. Although it's still at a fair angle, it rises only shortly before the sun and is lost in glare. So we have to wait another few months before it's worth observing. Jupiter, well, it's also a morning object, and like Mars, is still washed out in the morning glare. At the start of April, Saturn will have already risen before the sun sets. It is still in Leo and will rise to an altitude of over 45 degrees above the horizon at about 22:45 UT on the 1st. It makes a good observing target this early in the night. As the month goes on, it will rise earlier and earlier, till by the 30th it rises in the early afternoon and sets at about 03 UT in the morning. It will still be a good target, but will soon be washed out by the sun's glare. Take advantage whilst you can. Uranus, well, it's still setting very close to the sun, so will not be observable. Neptune, like Mars and Jupiter, is not well placed, rising close to the sun. Again, it's not observable this month. There is one meteor shower this month, although it will not be easy to observe. The Virginids will reach a maximum on the 10th of April. However, you cannot really describe it as a shower, as the maximum will only be about 5 per hour. The limits are normally from the 7th to the 18th. The radiant will be in Virgo, and the meteors will have a slow, long path. Now, let's have an update on Comet Lulin. The comet has been observable for the past few months. It's now in Gemini, but at a magnitude of 9 or even less. You will need a telescope to observe it. It's quickly moving away from us, so as it's on a parabolic orbit, we may never see it again. Have a look whilst you can. That's it for this month. Thanks for watching. If you have joined us through YouTube, please do have a look at our website, www.baseline-scientific.com. We'll be back for the May edition, so I hope you'll join us then. See you next month. Goodbye.
Thank you.